This is Damon Stevens with Wealth Builders. Today is Tuesday, February 1st, 2022, and this is stock market update for trades of the day. Exciting day. Bulls won again today. The rally is absolutely crazy. It's like a V. It's just amazing. So let's get into it and take a look at what happened in the market today. Also, just a note here before we go off the screen, Google just announced 20 for 1 split. And wait till you see their chart. So that is going to be amazing what that does for the market tomorrow. We'll see. I expected the market could have did a little bit of retracement tomorrow, but who knows with Google out there, might get a little pump before we see type of dump. Looking at the VIX, you can see here Dow Jones closed up 0.78%, NASDAQ up 0.75%, and S&P 500 0.69%. And it did it all at the end of the day. It was such a dry day until the end of the day. You can see here just pretty much flat most of the day, and then boom, pop at the end of the day. So really, if you're trading this market, it's a lot of patience. But the last 3 days have been very consistent. You see a little pop in the morning, and then the rally happens at the end of the day. Come around noon, the rest of the day, it's a big old run just about for every single stock out there. So it's just a good trade out here, at least for the FANG stocks and stocks that we're tracing. So if you look at the FANG stocks, so there was a mix today. Tesla actually was down, Microsoft was down, and Apple was pretty well flat. Google was the winner, Facebook, Netflix. It's not on here, but highlighted on here. But Netflix was really a good one today as well. And we'll cover that in a chart. But again, our small caps still just kind of down there. Not anything that I'm chasing on the small caps. Looking at our earnings, so today, this Tuesday, so Alphabet, Google was the big one, and it was. So we'll cover that one. Tomorrow, we have Qualcomm, Spotify, and Waste Management. Those are 3 that I'm watching. So, and probably Made It too. Probably watch that one as well. But these are the 3 I'm watching for earnings. But wow, let's look at this Google. So what an amazing jump. Holy cow, look at this. So this was a low. You see we popped down here. This is kind of the low we hit just around the 2,500 mark. And then we started to rally back up here. And then look at today after hours from 2738 clear up to 3,000. So look at this nice, big, huge bar, almost all the way back up to the top in a couple of days. So just amazing. Can it hold that? Can Google hold that? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what the reaction is. A lot of times when the companies announce splits, you see a stock just kind of go crazy. I mean, Tesla did that. It just went absolutely nuts when they said they were going to split the stock. It just was an amazing thing. And then, they split. Typically you see a pullback for a while, maybe a few days or a week, and then all of a sudden it just starts going up again. That's what I've seen in the market. And so this is typical. So, if you have a good earning report and you announce splits, it can do well for you. But, this should retrace. This is a huge candle, but doesn't have to. So just be careful if you're trading this in the morning. If it does retrace, it could retrace back here to this 2864. If it does and bounces off there, it's probably a good run here. If it falls below there, then, maybe we're retracing that whole candle possibly, but we shouldn't. And we got all the moving averages. We're now above all of them now in one quick swoop. Do we hit new highs on here? That's where it's undetermined. So just be careful out there if you're trading this one. If you got this on the win, if you're gambling a little bit and you got this on a call, or if you're doing straddle or whatever, any other options trading, or even holding the stock, you had a great day. Microsoft, you see Microsoft, is in this recovery. We had this breakout area here. You had this little gap up here back in October. And you see that we're kind of in that area right now. So this is kind of a breakout area. We got to get above all the moving averages. It did kind of pull up there and then it pulled back a little bit. So right on that 20. So if Microsoft, if it has another weak day, we could pull back down, and Microsoft may pull back and retrace a little bit here. So just be aware of that and be careful on that one. Tesla, same thing. Tesla had a weak day too. We were kind of going through the same gap area right here, and you see kind of we have an M right here, and we broke that. This was kind of the you call it a neckline when it's on head and shoulders, but basically this is the line where we came down through and broke through below the 200, And we didn't stay down there long, just 2 days and back up. So that's good. You know, you typically 2 days, longer than 2 days, you know, you're going to start seeing a better trend. But it did pop up here. We're sitting here on the 10. So we'll see if we can kind of rally back up here. But this is showing a little weakness on Tesla. So just be aware that Microsoft and Tesla are now showing, you know, possible pullback a little bit. Apple's, you know, is a leading indicator for the market, and it, you know, had a good day, pretty well flat. It's consolidating. So it could consolidate here and create basically a bull flag and jump up here to our trend line, or, you know, it could pull back here. So we're just kind of watching to see what the price action is on Apple, but Apple is looking good and is really kind of this resistance area up here. All right. McDonald's, we talked about this. It bounced off the support line down here, trend line, and is rallying up. Kind of pretty much flat today. So, you know, after this huge run, you know, things got to consolidate a little bit or pull back a little bit before they can run again. Boeing's up here above this resistance level, so kind of holding here. And you see that we had, you know, 208.90 here. We had support up here and resistance, and then support up here that we've kind of traced. So this area right here is pretty important for Boeing. So we got to get kind of above this area, 210 and higher, to start rallying back up. If we don't, we could have a pullback here. So, you know, just be prepared for tomorrow. If you get up in the morning and the market's gap down, you know, it could be a negative day. If we gap up, then look for a possible, you know, temporary pop or a pop in the morning, and then, you know, and then a possibility of a fade during the day back down, or, you know, see if we can hold the rally and go up. Maybe Google will help drag the whole market up. Caterpillar, so Cat, you can see here, very much, we talked about this, that's very much kind of looking like a lot like Tesla, kind of pulled back, kind of did a rally, pulled back in, kind of came flat, although, you know, Caterpillar broke back out where Tesla kind of fell back down. So Cat's kind of trying to get back up there and break back out again. Nvidia, right here, tried to break out today, got to the 20 moving average, which is good, and then kind of fell back. So Nvidia is kind of at this area where we kind of failed to break over that 20. So we'll watch the Nvidia to see if it's going to, you know, pull back and pull back down in here, or can we break out of this channel here. And Netflix had a really, really good day, just rallied, just kind of grinded all day long. And when you see that and you see the volume, you know, a lot of that's institutions, a lot of times that are buying in. And that's kind of how you see the stock, it just kind of grinds slowly high, which, you know, if you get on this, a great winner today, and we have a little bit of pullback here, but as long as we don't break this 50, we should be able to bounce off in here and continue to do well. Invax, you can see Invax here. We had this big pullback here. Invax is trying to get back up here over up here to this trend line here, but it's not quite there yet. So still watching Invax to see some strength pull in there. Exxon, you know, energy and oil just killing it, you know, going to new highs, and Exxon's up here over 80, 83 now. And so the next level here that we could possibly go up to on this Bollinger, on this Fibonacci is 95.50. So do we rally all the way up there? It's possible, but you know, I'm also seeing gas prices go up here too as well. So we're going to see what happens and how far we want to take this. But Exxon is just doing really well. ARC is up here, hit the 200 under this resistance area after we got this little doji here. We'll see if this holds this or if it fails and pulls back again. But you know, a lot of it depends on what the other techs and biotechs are doing. Looking at the 10-year yield, still flat here, pretty much nothing to talk about there. US oil just grinding slowly higher, but still very bullish. Dollar here is pulled back a little bit, but dollars, you know, in a good position for the market to be able to run up. The VIX pulled way back down here, so you know that's one of the things we talk about on the video all the time is watch the VIX. If it's kind of dropping back towards 20, you're probably going to see a rally that day. If it's kind of spiking up, then you're going to see the market pull back. And you see we had this several days of pullback in the market while the VIX was running, and then now the VIX is pulling back and the market's, rallying. So we're close to 20. So unless this bumps up here, and it'll probably continue coming down here, it should probably consolidate a little bit like it's done here and here and here in the past. So it might consolidate right in this area, but so far that really helps the market continue to move. SPY, you see here, it's just above the 100 right now. It's above the 20. So SPY is making huge progress of this V shape, just kind of pull up here. So we'll see, there's gaps up here to fill, and we're also at the 100. So, that's been support several times. So now it's going to be resistance. So that's where I was wondering if we could have possibly a pullback tomorrow. Triple Q's got above the 200, closed above the 200, but below the 20. So we'll see if that's enough strength to continue the Q's to rally up. Semiconductors, it's sitting here between the 10 and the 20. So looking for the semiconductors to continue to make momentum upstream. Dow Jones, just under the 50 now, got over the 100, got over the 20. So you can see they're starting to curl up here. That's very bullish signals here on the Dow. IWM came down here. We hit this bottom here, and now we're bouncing off it. So this is, now we got to see the second day if we can continue this rally up. Financials, you see here, this is kind of where we broke down before, right? We had a resistance here, broke down, resistance here, and then a gap up. And that's exactly the space we're at for financials. So do we have enough? Do we gap up here tomorrow? Do we find weakness and pull back? And that's the question on financials. We're right at that critical decision point right now. The energy stocks, we talked about energy and how well it's doing. You see it just continues. We're actually right up at the bottom, at the top of our upper trend line. So if we break out of here, that's very, very bullish. So just be aware of that. We're kind of watching that, or we could, kind of come back down here because this is a range here. You can see we're up at the line here, came back down, tagged up here, and now we're back up again. So just something to be aware of. Bitcoin just kind of this downward channel. We talked about this in the video last couple of nights, but when I see this, when you see the chart where kind of the candles just kind of go slowly up in a straight line, which is not normal for a market to just kind of be straight like that. Usually what I see in the stock market is that's usually an indication that you have institutions buy in. They're trying to buy in not to freak out the market, to get their positions in and to get them in slowly. And they're not too concerned about getting the exact price they want, but more about getting in there without creating any type of high swings up or down. So I don't know if those are institutions buying all that Bitcoin in here, but that's what, that's what the pattern looks like to me. Leo's our number one that we're tracking on crypto, and look at this skyrocket here. So if you haven't locked in profits, I would around this 450. It's higher than I expected it was going to bounce up to, and what we talked about in our video. So we got more out of it. So just make sure you take some profits along the way. If you can book profits and then just kind of let some of it run, that'd probably be probably an ideal scenario, at least for me. OMI, so MI, you see here, you got this little M here. We're holding above the 50, looking for this bounce. It's trying to get above the 20, but it hasn't yet. If we can get above these moving averages, then we can start to roll to the high side again. ETC is one. We're trying to look for this curve out. You can see that it's got a green bar here. Finally, we're trying to get above that 20. See if we can rally up here. Ethereum. So Ethereum's kind of rolling up here too as well. So looking for the breakout of Ethereum. And CRO is kind of flat here. But kind of a funny, funny chart here that you can play. Hopefully the upside here, but wait for this breakout. I'm waiting for this breakout to get in here. I got a little bit of this weekend, and then I got out because it just, it was a good scalping, but not really a good strong one yet. But I am watching this CRO. That's our stocks. That's our cryptos. This is what we're looking for tomorrow. Definitely stay safe out there. Watch your size out there when you're trading, and make sure you're locking profits in. And also watch the scanner, watch pre-market. It'll give you some indications and on the open as far as which way the market's going. So be careful out there trading, and have a great day. And we'll talk tomorrow night and see how things went and what to look for the rest of the week.